right, back at it here. And I wanted to follow up. I right on the heels of that story from the American Heart Association. I had saved a story from a few days ago. You know, I try not to sound anti-vax. Okay, I am not anti-vax. Larry, I'm with you on you make your educated choice. But I think there's just way too many people that aren't getting all the information. So I saved the story, which reads like this. With each passing day, the list of people suffering tragic consequences of these gene therapies being marketed as vaccines is getting stronger. Slews of professional and amateur athletes have collapsed and died in recent weeks. The mainstream media acts like these are, it's either normal or inexplicable. Well, they're neither. They're abnormal and totally explainable when you know how this shot destroys your heart and clumps your blood. Among the latest victims is Florian Daguri, world record holder in static breath hold freediving. Before the Pfizer shot, he was able to hold his breath for 10 minutes and 30 seconds. After his second dose, his diving performance was slashed by 30%. He has been diagnosed with myocarditis, pericarditis, and trivial mitral regurgitation, a condition where the mitral valve gets leaky, allowing blood to flow back into the left ventricle. He shared his experience on Instagram. After my second dose, I noticed my heart rate was higher than normal. My breath hold capacities went down significantly. During sleep, I was between 65 and 70 beats per minute rather than 37 to 45. During the day, I'm now always over 100 beats per minute instead of 65. Even when I sit down and relax, once I even reached 177 while having dinner with friends. 10 days after my second jab, I went to the cardiologist. He told me it's a common side effect of the Pfizer vaccine. Nothing to worry about, just rest. It'll pass. 40 days after the second jab, I had no progress, so I went to see another cardiologist and got diagnosed myocarditis and trivial mitral regurgitation, which is basically an inflammation of the heart muscles caused by the immune system and some tiny leaks of blood from the valves that no longer close properly. I'm now struggling to reach 8 minutes breath hold. I even have a strong urge to breathe, diving 40-meter dives, 30% decrease in my performance. Other professional athletes whose careers are now on hold include the French tennis player Jeremy Chardy, who commented on his situation. Since my vaccine, I am struggling. I can't train. I can't play. I'm frustrated because I don't have 10 years left to play. I regret having the vaccine, but I could not have known this would happen. Another one is Antoine Michin, a 32-year-old triathlete whose career is on indefinite hold, as he developed pulmonary embolism after taking his second dose of Moderna. Which makes it all the more tragic is that he suffered pain and shortness of breath after the first shot. He was told the symptoms, well, it's probably just stress and fatigue. He went ahead with the second dose and now has severe lung damage. I mean, but they continue to just say these are isolated. It's it's 1 in a million, whatever it is. But who wants to be the one, speaking for myself, I don't want to be the one who dips into the bowl of M&Ms that has one poison pill in it for risk of maybe getting that poison pill. That's just me, but just saying. And it really does kind of frustrate me when they're even trying to flag the likes of the American Heart Association for talking about these recognizable risks for heart damage. with these experimental vaccines. I'm just passing on the information. All right, with that, let me get back to your calls there. Inbred Redneck, what's going on in your world?
Buddy, just working myself to death. You know how it goes. Yeah, buddy, the thing gets me is I get what you're saying about all that. And they got, they took and censored Dr. Rand Paul over his views on the vaccine, mask mandates, The only thing I got to ask these people, YouTube, Twitter, all these others, how many medical doctors do you have employed there at your company? Steve, I guarantee you there are a bunch of computer geeks, and there's not a medical doctor out of them. The whole damn bunch.
Yes, sir.
And, how many years did we watch stupid stuff happen on the internet? Now, whether you laughed at it or not, I mean, just let it be known. I mean, how do you think the kids started eating the Tide Pods?
Right.
You remember the milk drink challenge?
The TikTok challenges, yes, a whole bunch of them.
Oh, yeah, and it goes back and goes on for years and years. And they didn't care about that medical disinformation. So all of a sudden, they're all tore up as soon as something doesn't meet their agenda. It's really sickening to see computer geeks trying to tell people that went to school for, most doctors. My brother was married to a doctor there in his first marriage. And she basically went to school for 12 damn years to become a doctor. Most of these guys that work in the tech industry, they may have went to school for a grand total of 2 if they're lucky. That's about 90% of the tech industry. But somehow they know more than these people that have dedicated at least a decade of their life to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sickening. You could probably look it up, I'm sure, somewhere on Google, even though they won't put it on YouTube or anything else. The number of doctors that have been banned from YouTube just for their views on
correct. To even question it, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy, Steve. And hey, if you took it, I don't care. I'm happy for you if that makes you happy. But I'm like you, Steve. I'm in the same boat with you. I ain't gonna be the one. I ain't the one, like Leonard Skinner said. I'm not a guinea pig. Everybody was believing, the FDA is going to release all that. It's been approved. They're going to release all the information on it in 55 years?
Exactly.
Like
and that is true. That is a true statement. That's 55 years.
Yeah, what are they hiding? If it's so damn good, what are you hiding? It's like going to Nestle's milk chocolate. After a while, if you put enough pressure on them, they'll show you the whole damn thing. Matter of fact, the FDA knows every damn thing about them, and they'll know everything about their product before they put it out on the market. They know everything about this, but somehow they just don't want us to know. And to me, Steve, it's like they're just trying to kill off people. And I've heard of even worse things than this heart stuff that has went on with this. And I know, YouTube censors people and everything else, Steve. I won't go into it, but, I ask people out there, and I will tell you, check it out for yourself. Just don't believe the hype. They had a lot of people worked up saying, oh, you got to have the mandate. You ain't going to have a job. If your company is telling you you're not going to have a job unless you go get the jab, then maybe it's time you go work for somebody else. That's what I would, if I worked at a place like that and they said, you have to have the jab, I would tell them, no, I don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They never, on your job interviews, anybody's had a job interview, a lot of truck drivers have a lot of job interviews. Have they ever asked for your daggone vaccination record? No.
No. Nope.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden they want to do that. There's a law in place over that. It's called the HIPAA law. Anybody that's worked in the medical field will tell you about the HIPAA law. In fact, I knew a girl that got fired. She was one of those little medical transcriptionists, all this stuff. And she started dating a new guy. She thought she'd be a smarty tart and go check out his medical history.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the head of the medical records noticed she was logged in there looking through records that she shouldn't have been looking through. Boom, she got fired. You don't have to give up your rights. So far the courts have been holding up for the most part. So don't let these people sweat any of you out there. If you don't feel like getting it, don't get it. If you go to a place and you're delivering there and they say, well, we got to have your vaccine, tell them, ask them, what is your STD status? I need to know your STD status before I can come in this company and deliver this load. See what kind of reaction you get.
Yeah, it's none of your damn business.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't need their seafood, Steve. I mean, I know where Long John Silver's is, Captain D's. I can find all that myself. But it's just ridiculous. You was talking about them people getting fired on Zoom. Well, I got a friend that actually works for that same company. And she was telling me that she didn't get an invite to that meeting. Matter of fact, she had heard through the rumor mill that it was going to happen. Oh, God, you goofy four-wheeler. Had some trucks on the right and almost got killed. But she had heard rumors that they were really watching their production, what she called it. How much call production you have and how much on time. Because all that is all recorded in there. And according to her, that company had problems. And basically, she was working herself to death. Answering the calls, doing this mortgage stuff. And a lot of the workforce were, from what I've seen and heard on the news, they were getting paid for an 8-hour shift and only working 2. And it's really sort of a home-based job anyway. Of course, she just started working for him about 2 years ago, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
So it was right at the beginning of all this junk. So I guess they changed a few things here and there. But I guess the people thought they could just goof off and cash a check, you know. You can't stop people from being lazy. You know, they either want to do the job or not, you know. But who was talking about their wheel falling off on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, Steve?
Their wheel.
Caller you had.
Oh, wheel. I can't remember who that was.
Yeah. I had a similar deal happen to me one time years ago, driving a coal bucket. Yeah, I worked for this old guy. We used to call him Elvis, you know. They acted like Elvis all the time.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I kept on telling him he's driving these old Mack trucks off-road, you know. And told him, I said, man, that wheel's getting loose on there. He said, well, the mechanic's busy up there rebuilding a motor. He said, why don't you take it up there to the shop and put you a new bearing in there? I said, well, how much you going to pay me? He said, I can't pay you for working on the truck. I said, okay. I kept on driving it. Next day, I told him the same thing. I said, man, it's getting bad. Take it up there. He still wouldn't pay me, Steve. Third day, I was driving along, and I made up my mind. So whatever happens with this, if it turns out bad, I'm quit. You know? And I'm up this old dirt road up this mountain, and the daggone wheel falls off. Hell, top speed was about 10 miles an hour. So I ended up pulling the thing over in the ditch, hopped out, grabbed my lunch bucket. Another guy coming down in the truck, I told him, I said, hey, man, give me a ride down there on the hill so I can get my car. What are you doing? I said, I'm quitting. I said, tell Elvis his truck is up here, you know. And, you know, that guy called me 2 days later and said, why'd you park that truck in that ditch? Like, dude, it's 2 days later, you know. I was expecting a phone call yesterday on this, you know. Yeah, you know, people going to treat you that way. You just might as well. I don't even care about it.
Gotta be a better place to work, right? Well.
Oh yeah, but
Redneck, I appreciate your call. Be almost out of time here, so real quick, morning to Truck and Phil checking in. Happy Thursday, coffee up, ready to head out to Sterling Heights, make that flip back to Fort Wayne. General Motors, hey, 16 days until Christmas. There you go. Bring it on. Now he said bring on 2022. Yeah, Chevy guy, you're going to wrap it up for us.
Okay, I want to take note. Somebody had told me that Steve's show isn't going to last. And I go, why? And he says, because Steve lets people get on there and say anything they want. And, you know, I didn't have an answer for him. But, you know, the more I thought about it now, and I didn't confront him on that, obviously anybody that would say that is not wishing the program well. The program is there for a lot of drivers. But the fact of the matter is, he said it to the wrong guy. Because this year alone, you and I have had a difference of opinion. And just, you know, on two different issues. One about a legal case and the other about Afghanistan. And you didn't just let what I say ride. You throw your opinion out there, and I'm sorry, you're wrong. But, hey, tonight itself, Jay gets on there, and Jay puts out what we feel is false information or not complete information, and you didn't just let it ride. I don't quite understand the premise of what he's getting at, but that's it. If you don't do it, somebody will call up and they will do it because it's an open conversation. So I want to just say thank you for this forum. We can be wrong. We can correct each other. There's just a blessing. And for Vic, I want to say, I've been in this company 20 years. I probably hold maybe 19, 20 loads of logs. I can tell you, I despise that. I mean, it's a lumber company. So, yeah, when they tell me to go haul logs, I will haul logs. And, buddy, you just have to drive the truck, and you have to watch that lumber swing out in the back. And it's amazing how many people will try to beat around you. If you're making a right turn off a 4-lane road, you take the center lane and you hog everything. And you move real slow so somebody won't just jar it up under you. So, it's a different experience, that's for sure. Yeah. But I've seen people do stupid things like follow up close behind. Driver come to a stoplight, hits the brake, and Ford Ranger goes into the farthest log. And by the time it got stopped, the guy's head was smashed. Went through the windshield, through where the driver's seat was, and out the back window, and halfway up the log. The wheels were up off the ground by the time it was done with. So if you guys ever get around a load of logs, give them plenty of space. Because they all move in unusual directions. So just give them plenty of space and a little bit of time when they got to make their swings. Other than that, this has been a great show tonight. Great people. And we're going to just enjoy. We're going to be copying the mail until we can do it again tomorrow night.
So the midnight hour Eastern time, that's a good place to leave it off. There you go. All right, when we do come back at the midnight hour tonight, we'll get you all the very latest. Who has seen how much snow by that point in time? Of course, as we have our winter storm warnings in place for parts of Nebraska, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah. Yeah, we'll have the latest updates on how much snow is anticipated by that point in time on through Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. And then I anticipate we'll also have a much better handle by then who's going to be looking at the potential for severe weather in the south central and southeastern states as we progress on through the day, Friday into Saturday. And so much more. I hope you'll join us. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
You never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love.